Well, students, uh, today we'll start with point number 8, continue from the last class. So point number 8 here, you can see NABARD. Okay, point number 7. So 7 is what? Exim Bank, right? So Exim Bank, the name itself suggesting Export and Import Bank of India. Okay, so you have to remember the establishment year and their main function. Okay, so here Exim Bank, EX means export, IM means import. The establishment year is 1982. So it was established in 1st March 1982, and it is a non-bank financial intermediary. Okay, so it is like non-banking financial institution, we can say. Okay, so banks are what? Banks are providing loans, they are accepting deposit. Okay, but Exim Bank is a non-banking financial institution. Okay, NBFI we can say, non-banking financial institution. Confine its area of operations to foreign trade of India. That means it encourage foreign trade, it encourage export and import business. It is helpful, this bank is helpful for the exporters and the importers. Okay, so it also performs the other functions like export rediscounting, refinance supply credit, bulk import finance, foreign currency pre-shipment credit, product equipment finance program. So that means they also design, they have some programs like product equipment finance program. So that program is also organized and conducted by them. Business advisory technical assistance. That means they also provide various technical assistance and business related advisory advices given to the various business organizations, like the people who wants to do export and import business in India. So you need to remember the main function is like, what is their main function? They confine its area of operations to foreign trade of India. Okay, they provide loan facility or financial assistance to the exporter and the importers. Fine. They also provide advisory services and technical assistance to the business firms. And establishment year is 1982. Okay. Now we'll move to what? NABARD. So what is the full form of NABARD? So sometimes like full form of NABARD comes. Okay. So NABARD here, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So name itself suggesting. Okay, so this is related to agriculture. That means providing loan facility to the agriculturist, providing loan facility to the people who are, who have started with the agricultural business. They are producing some agricultural products, and they are working towards rural development. Okay, so development of the rural, so that is one of the main objective of NABARD. And establishment here is 1982, that has started in the year July 1982, and on the basis of the recommendations of Crafikart. Okay, so it is an apex body in the agricultural credit. So which institution is the apex body of agricultural credit? So that is your NABARD. So it takes over the functions of Agriculture Credit Department of RBI. Okay, so like you can see here, it is taking care of the Agricultural Credit Department of RBI. So RBI has many departments, right? So one of the department of RBI is Agriculture Credit Department, and that is taken care of by the NABARD. And Agriculture Refinance Development Corporation, that is ARDC. That also you need to remember. Now next one you see, it provides all sources of refinance to the cooperatives, commercial banks and regional rural banks. So RRB. So RRB is Regional Rural Bank. What is the name of RRB in India, in Assam? One of the RRB in Assam, Regional Rural Bank? Assam Gramin Vikas Bank, yes. So it provides all sources of refinance to the cooperative banks, to the commercial banks, as well as to the regional rural banks. It also promotes the research in agriculture and rural development. So where they also helps in doing the research activity related to the agriculture and rural development. Okay. Now we'll move on to LIC. We can say LICI, that is your Life Insurance Corporation of India. LICI, it is established in 1956. So it was established in 1956 by nationalizing 245 private insurance companies. Okay, by nationalizing 245, okay, private insurance companies, this was established in 1956. The primary object of nationalization was to protect the interest of the policyholders and avoid the misuse of funds. Secondly, the object of nationalization was to direct the investment of funds in government security. That is 87.5%, leaving a small part for private sector, that is 12.5%. So LIC is one of the, we can say, public sector insurance company, only public sector insurance company in India. Okay, we have a lot of private sector insurance companies in India. LIC is the only one public sector insurance company in India. It has also gone public. They have also, LIC has also issued shares to the public, so it has become public company now. Fine. So it is a public sector life insurance corporation because it is like a government-owned insurance company. Fine. So it has nationalized in the year 1956 by nationalizing what? 245 private insurance company. And the objective is to protect the interest of the policy holders. Okay, policy holders का जो पैसा जमा होता है LIC में, वो पैसा को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, सो पॉलिसी होल्डर्स को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, टू प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द पॉलिसी होल्डर्स, सो इट वाज नेशनलाइज्ड. फाइन. देन नेक्स्ट वन इज GIC. सो LIC is related to life of a person. Fine. So life of a person, like a person buys a life insurance company, अपना खुद का life का insurance. And GIC is related to general insurance. Okay, other than life of the persons, there are some general insurances that is insured by the people. So GIC is established in the year 1972. So it was formed as government company in 1972. Before nationalization, a few big companies and about 100 small companies were in this business. Okay, so before nationalizing, there were many private or small small insurance companies. At present, GIC is provided to 4 companies. They are. So these are the companies related to GIC. I think you have heard about it. You have heard about all this. National Insurance Company. Okay. Then New India Assurance Company. The next is Oriental Fire. Okay. And General Insurance Company. Okay. Then your United India Fire and General Insurance Company. So these 4 you need to remember. Okay. So they have like provided 4 companies. So these are the 4 companies. You must have heard about these 4 companies. Or maybe you went and paid some insurance premium. Maybe. So National Insurance Company, you remember, New India Assurance Company, Oriental Fire and General Insurance Company. So general insurance means we can that can be your car insurance or fire insurance. So that is your general insurance all about. The main feature of GIC is to sell insurance services against some forms of risk. Okay, so against some forms of risk like loss of physical assets of various kinds like fire accident, and against personal sickness and accidents. Fine. So like car accidents and we can say fire accident. So GIC is related to that. That kind of services is provided by GIC. Now next one is SEBI. So you must have heard about SEBI, right? So what is the full form of SEBI? Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay. So it has established in 1982. Okay, it was set up in 1982 and it has got legal status in 1992. Okay. legal status in 1992. So that way you need to see, say options will be given. Okay, legal status or statutory reorganization. Fine. As set up in 1988 but legal status in 1992. Fine. So if this option is given, 88 option is not given, so you have to choose 1992. Okay. The main purpose of the SEBI is regulating the business of stock market and other securities market. Okay, so SEBI is the regulatory body of the securities market. Okay, securities market in India. So securities market, derivative market, commodity market and other securities market. Now we'll move on to private insurance company. So LICI is a public insurance company, right? And apart from LIC in India, we have many private insurance companies. And even we have MNCs, MNC insurance companies also, like, you know, the companies which are not from India, but they are doing their businesses in India. So here you can see this millennium has witnessed the insurance sector a journey extending to nearly 200 years. In 1993, the government set up a committee under the chairmanship of R.N. Malhotra, former governor of RBI, to propose recommendations for reforms in the insurance sector. According to the recommendation of the committee, huge opening was for the private companies in home and away. Besides the public companies, the others are the private insurers, both life and general, okay, who have done a joint venture with foreign insurance companies to start their insurance business in India. Okay, so many private individuals or many private firms, they have, you know, collab with some foreign insurance company and they are doing business. Okay, they have started their business in India. So here you can see some of the private life insurance companies are Aegon Life Insurance Company Limited, Aviva Life Insurance Company Limited, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company Limited, so Bajaj plus Allianz, and some other general insurance companies like Aditya Birla Health Insurance Company Limited. Okay, so health insurance is also one kind of your general insurance. People buy health insurance. Okay, so people buy health insurance if the person will become sick. Okay, so that if the person has a health insurance, then the entire medical benefit, okay, entire medical expenses will be borne by the insurance company up to a limit. So Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company, Bharati Exa General Insurance Company, and many more. So we have many private insurance companies in India apart from LICI. Now what is SWIFT? So first you remember the full form of SWIFT. Okay, SWIFT is not Swift Desire. Okay, so you are studying like economics, it is not Swift Desire, right? So full form of SWIFT is Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication System. Okay, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication System. So it is related to bank. Okay, it's like we use Gmail, right? We use Gmail, we send messages, instantly the person gets the message, right? So everything is like recorded. We send messages, we receive messages that way. So this is a message sending organization, okay, related to bank. So it is interbank financial telecommunication. Okay, that means tomorrow eta bankor logot itu bankor dhori lo foreign bank and other banks or logot junkhini tumalkor transactions hoy, you know, money is coming, money going, whatever is the transaction. So messages are sent from one bank to the another bank with the help of SWIFT. Fine. So it ensures security and efficiency. So SWIFT is a huge messaging network banks and other financial institutions use to rapidly, precisely and securely send and obtain information. Okay, so informations are sent and received with the help of this system, such as money transfer instructions. It is a protected financial message carrier which can be, so it is a message carrier. What message carrier? Financial message carrier. Okay, and related to bank. Interbank transactions, messages are dealt by the SWIFT system. Fine. Which can evade fraudulent transactions. Okay? Which can evade fraudulent transaction. Because, like, with the help of SWIFT, you will be able to track where money is going, from which bank it is coming, to which bank the money is going, to which account money is going. Okay, so it ensures security and efficiency. So here you can see, specifically it carries messages from one bank to another bank, say from bank X reaches bank Y only. Fine? Understood? Okay. Now, next is your BIS, Bank for International Settlements, BIS. So in the globalized world, under the interlinkages between the domestic economics, banking and financial operations with the rest of the world, international cooperation in terms of smooth running of the banking and financial system is required. Okay? So Bank for International Settlement is an international financial institution owned by central bank. So this is owned by central bank. What is it? It is an international financial institution. Fine? And what is the main objective behind it? It fosters international monetary and financial cooperation and serves a bank for central banks. Okay, so it mainly helps the central banks. The mission is to support central bank. Okay, the main objective is to support the central bank pursuit of monetary and financial stability. Okay, through international cooperation and to act as a bank for central bank. So it act as a, like, we have like one central banks in all the countries. So that's why here it says it fosters international monetary and financial cooperation and serves as a bank for all the central banks, central banks in all over the world. So currently 60 central banks or monetary authorities are members of the bank for BIS. RBI is also one of the member of BIS. Fine? Okay, now next is Mudra Bank. So Mudra Bank has started by our Honorable Prime Minister on 8 April 2015. So underline that. Okay? Okay, so what is Mudra Bank all about? Program, you see they have already started. They will be dancing, they will be, huh? Backstage, sabo pariba tumalke. Efale goe backstages. You can see. Okay, so Mudra Bank, that is launched by our respected Prime Minister, okay, on 8 April 2015. So this is a scheme given by Prime Minister. Okay, Prime Minister Mudra Bank scheme. Okay, Prime Minister Mudra Bank scheme, PMMS, right? So Prime Minister Mudra Bank scheme. So what is this Mudra Bank all about? So Mudra Bank has started for the small businessmen. So it gives loan up to 10 lakhs. Yes, it's given here. So the requirement of credit must be 10 lakhs or lower. So there are 3 categories here. Here it's not given. So one is Shishu, one is Kishore, and another one is like, I forgot the name. Okay, so one is like till 50,000, one is from 50,000 to 5 lakhs, and another one is 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Okay, there are 3 categories. So basically this is given to the people, okay, given loan to the people uh, who doesn't have, suppose, a huge asset, because this loan is given without collateral. Okay, this loan is given, this Mudra Bank, they provide banking facility without collateral. Anybody wants to start a small business, or like we can say, see here, MSME means what? MSME means medium and small enterprises. Okay, micro, small, medium enterprises. So here, this is also a non-banking financial institution which then provide credit to medium and small enterprises. Fine. The minimum age of the applicant must be 18 years and the maximum is 65 years. So loan can be availed by non-farm income generating businesses in manufacturing, trading and services. The requirement is up to 10 lakhs. You will not get loan more than 10 lakhs. You can also, if you suppose one fine day after a few years, if you want to start a business, small business, you can apply under Mudra Finance. Okay, you can apply under Mudra Bank. You have to show what is your business project all about. You have to show it and you will get the loan without collateral. Tumi kuno dhoroner dhorilwa security hisabe dibo nalage. So that is launched by whom? Prime Minister. What Yojana? Launched by? Yes. In the year? Okay. Now next is alternative investment fund. So there is a usual existence of investment fund in India in conventional forms, though there are some alternative funds. Alternative investment fund is one type of investment fund in India. It is an investment that differs from conventional investments such as debt security, stock, etc. Okay, so that means we have many investment fund other than debt security. Debt money which is like totally secured. Totally secured. Your money is guaranteed that you will get your return. So that is debt security, stock. But other investment fund is like, there are many investment funds like equity, that is totally market linked. It will depend upon the stock market. Venture capital, hedge funds, managed funds, etc. Fine. So, like other than conventional means what? Conventional mane purana. Purana jo fund hai, purana, jo tumar kuno dhoroner risk, there is no risk involved. So nowadays many funds are there available with the banks, with the financial institutions, where risk is more and return is also more. So that is alternative investment fund. Now, bad bank. Have you heard about anything about bad bank? Bad matlab kya? Kharab bank. Kharab bank hai kya? There is nothing called bad bank, right? But what is it? Bad bank. So that day I was telling you about commercial bank giving loans to the people, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. But you see, if Mr. X won't be able to repay the loans, that will become bad debt for the bank. Okay. First day went like, the first month, second month, third month. Again, Mr. X is not repaying the EMI. He is not repaying the loan. Interest diya nahi, principal amount diya nahi, ekku diya nahi, nothing is given. Okay, then it will become what? Bad debt for the bank. So how the bank will now collect money? How बैंक विल कलेक्ट इट? वाउचर को भेजना पड़ेगा, हट्टा कट्टा लोगों को भेजना पड़ेगा, है कि नहीं? दम देना पड़ेगा, पैसा दो पैसा दो पैसा दो. That is bad bank. So that way we have bad banks, right? So names are given here, you see. By the term bad bank, it is referred to an asset reconstruction company, ARS, or an asset management company that takes care of the bad loans of commercial banks, manages them, and finally recovers the money over a period of time. So finally they recover. So they have like employees and they send the employees to the houses, to the people who have not paid. But after a longer period of time, they recover it. Recover, or maybe they sell the asset, take it, sell the asset. क्योंकि वो जो बैंक के जो एम्प्लॉयज़ है वो लोग तो बहुत like they are very yes, you can say क्या क्या बोलेंगे उसको, हाँ innocent. Okay, they won't be able to recover. So that's why bad banks are there. They will recover the loan. So that is your bad bank all about. Here you can see the history of bank operations in India reveals that there are huge non-refunded funds from the borrowers to the bank, which is termed as non-performing asset. So what is non-performing assets here? Non-performing, NPA. What is it? This is non-performing. So any person, any borrower from bank unable to pay the principal and the interest money, that is termed as non-performing asset. So there may be a question and options are given. What is NPA, non-performing asset? What is it? It is related to what? It is related to the borrowers taking loan and unable to pay. That is, it becomes non-performing asset, or bad debts or bad loans. The banks could not recover the major part by their own instruments and legal supports. Okay? So, when bank will unable to recover, with the legal support also, like legal notice are sent. 2 number of times letters are given to them, notice are given to them. कोई खबर ही नहीं. कोई खबर नहीं. They are not bothered, they are not paying it. They are not paying. Then what they will do, therefore the government of India has recommended, for this purpose the government of India has recommended for an autonomous body to help in recovering these funds. So government has recommended that इसके लिए एक autonomous body चाहिए. So by the term bad bank, it is referred to an asset reconstruction company, ARS or AMC, that takes care of the bad loans of the commercial bank. Clear? Clear? So the bad banks is not involved in lending and taking deposit. They are not involved in like giving loan to someone or accepting deposit from the public. They are not related to that. Main banks are related to that, but bad bank is not related to accepting deposit from public or giving loan to the public. But it helps commercial bank to clean up their balance sheet and resolve bad loans. ठीक है, बैलेंस शीट को क्लीन अप करने के लिए, बैलेंस शीट में जो पैसा आना है, लोन दे दिया लेकिन लोन का पैसा नहीं आया, सो टू क्लीन अप देयर बैलेंस शीट दिस कमर्शियल बैंक्स टेक्स द help of bad banks. So National Asset Reconstruction Company, NARCL, will acquire and aggregate the identified NPA accounts from banks, and India Debt Resolution Company Limited will handle the debt resolution process. Fine, understood what is bad bank all about? Okay. Now next is hedge fund. ये बहुत danger है. Lot of risk. Okay, portfolio management, lot of risk. Investing money, okay, in the areas where there is lot of risk and lot of return. So that is your hedge fund all about. So money is pulled from the people, and that money is invested in various securities, in real estate, and a handsome or good amount of return is given back to the investors. So that is your hedge bank all about. So hedge fund is a pool investment fund that trades in relatively liquid assets and is able to make widespread use of more complex trading, portfolio construction, and risk management methods in an effort to advance performance, such as leverage. Leverage is like borrowing. Leverage is like you are borrowing and investing. That is leverage. Okay, so when you are into share trading, and you are trading with the help of a brokerage firm will give you leverage. That means you're borrowing from them. You're borrowing money from them. Right? You're borrowing money from them and you are trading. And when you will make profit out of it, then you return it back. Fine. So that is leverage all about. Short selling. These are some strategy and derivatives. Some samples of hedge funds are Munot Hedge Fund, Forefront Alternative Investment Trust, okay, IIFL Opportunities Fund, etc. So you will find many hedge fund companies in India. Okay, there are many hedge fund companies in India. It can be a sole proprietorship business also, partnership business also, and companies are there in India, hedge fund companies. Okay. Okay, we'll see 19 and 20, venture capital and all. First, we'll see this Asian Development Bank. So ADB, the establishment year is 1966. The main aim for the establishment of ADB is to promote the socio and economic progress of number countries in Asia and Pacific. So Asia and Pacific, those countries are their socio and economic progress, promoting their socio and economic progress is the main aim of ADB. Establishment year is 1966. So it is owned by governments of 37 countries from region and 16 countries from outside the region. Its headquarters is in Manila, Philippines. Poverty reduction is now the main mission of ADB. Okay, so poverty reduction is the main mission of ADB. Now IMF, I think you have studied a lot many times about IMF. International Monetary Fund, you have studied in 10 standard also, you have studied in maybe 11 or 12 standard also. So International Monetary Fund establishment year, you need to remember 1947, okay, and it is the outcome of Bretton Woods Conference, okay. Then the main objective of IMF is what? Is to administer a code of fair practice in the sphere of foreign exchange and to make loans to the economics experiencing temporary deficit in their balance of payments. Sinaki. Quota. So it is the membership contribution fixed in terms of its national income, and internal trade members are required to subscribe quota partly in gold 25%, partly in domestic currency 75%. So you need to remember all this. Exchange rate also you need to remember. Exchange rate. The members of IMF had to declare the par value of national currency in terms of gold or American dollar. So that way exchange rates are, we can say, valued. Once the par value of different currencies is fixed, it becomes easy to determine the rate of exchange between two countries. Okay. Then SDR is there. Special drawing rights. World Bank. Okay, we'll see this in the next class. Okay, so what is the, we'll see this in the next class. What is the establishment year of LIC? Forgot.
1956.
1956. Nationalize how many private sector insurance companies? 245. What is the establishment year of GIC after LIC?
1972. 72.
Yes. Yes. 70? 72. Yes. What is the establishment year of IMF? IMF? Hmm? 1947. Okay, so it is the outcome of which conference? Just now I have told you. It is the outcome of? Bretton Woods Conference. Okay. And what is the establishment year of NABARD? Fine. What is the full form of NABARD? And rural development. Okay, fine. So the apex body for agricultural credit is which institution? NABARD. Okay. Then which Exim Bank? What is the main objective of Exim Bank? Okay. Controls. Establishment year? Establishment year of 1982? Huh? Exim Bank, 1982. I've only told you the answer, no? 1982. Establishment year of 1982. Establishment year of Exim Bank is 1982. Okay. What is, like bad bank is related to what? Recovering the bad, yes, bad loans. Recovering the loans which could not repay by the borrowers from the commercial bank. Okay. Are bad banks provide loans and accept deposit to the general public? No. Can you give me one example of bad bank? Asset company. Okay. So, and what is the full form of NPA? Non-performing asset. Fine. What is the establishment year of GIC? 1972. Okay, so Mudra Bank is started in the year? 2015 by?
Prime Minister.
Full form of BIS, Bank for International Settlement. Yes, what is the full form of SWIFT? Society for SWIFT. You need to remember all this. W stands for worldwide. Right, Society for Worldwide. W stands for worldwide. I stands for interbank, because it is related to bank. Interbank. Okay, one bank with another bank. Okay, interbank. F stands for financial. And T stands for telecommunication system. Okay, SWIFT. SEBI was established in the year 88 and got legal status in the year? Okay, so this is the regulatory body of securities in India. Fine. IDBI establishment year 1964. All this you need to remember. SIDC 1960, UTI 1964, ICICI, what is the full form of ICICI? Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, 1955. SFC 1953. IFCI 1948. So what is the main objective of IFCI? Providing medium and long-term credit facility to the industrial units. Fine. So, like whatever we are discussing, these are all non-banking financial institutions. Okay. So, banks, their main objective is to accept deposit and providing loans to the public. Okay. So, these are your non-banking financial institutions. Right. So, they are not accepting deposit from the public. What they are doing, they are providing loans, maybe they are assisting, like providing advisory services, they are providing technical services, they are helping the new entrepreneurs to prepare project report, viable project report. So all these are their main objective. They are providing finances to expand their business, to modernize their business, maybe to buy plant machineries. Already like industries are there and they want money, fund. They are providing money to expand their business, modernize their business, diversify their business. Okay, so mainly these units are providing loan facility to the industrial units, to the new industrial units or to the existing industrial units to expand their business. Fine? Okay. Fine then, that's all for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.